Hi guys, this is gsnhome.com and I'm here with the ASUS Zenfone 11 Ultra, and we actually have something extra here. So the phone has just launched and some people may see it as a rebranded ASUS ROG 8 Pro. Some people may see it as a standalone flagship with a bigger screen. So this is the eco-friendly box without a charger this time, and we have the blue version of the handset. I'm going to fire it up, and as you can see, the footprint has increased. It's no longer one of those below 6-inch small phones like the Zenfone 10 and 9 before it, and it also doesn't have a rotating camera like the Zenfones back in the day. Okay, so the other box includes another version of the phone in this color hue, sort of pink meets orange with the classic lines at the backside. It's just a dummy unit, so yeah, it's just for show. Okay, so this is the phone and it banks a lot on AI. The price should be around $800–900, and it's a proper flagship with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor inside. Now in the box you're going to find the following things. So first things first, we have this envelope here where you find the key used to access the slots, and then we got the case, which is actually useful because the phone is mighty slippery. The case also keeps the line pattern, which by the way I saw on quite a few ASUS laptops over the past years. Okay, so that's everything inside the box so far. Once again, sadly no charger, particularly sadly since the charging is supported in a pretty fast manner here. We also get the cable from USB-C to USB-C, and once again that's it. Okay, now that the proper unboxing is done, we can focus on the handset, and it's obviously made of premium materials. I'm talking about frosted glass at the backside, an aluminum frame which is quite beefy, and glass at the front side. Luckily we have a flat panel this time, so gamers will definitely be happy. Okay, so yes, it is a reincarnation of the ROG Phone 8 Pro, but without the side buttons for gaming, without the extra USB-C port, and without the LEDs at the backside. I'm going to keep saying it, it's quite slippery, so you better use the case to increase the grip. The camera protrudes quite a bit at the backside, and aside from this hue we also have a gray one and a black one. Okay, so there's Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection for the screen. We have very narrow bezels this time around, and as far as I know there's no IP certification, but I'm going to have to look it up. One-hand use is out of the question because it's a very long and wide phone. Measures 8.9mm in thickness and weighs a hefty 224 grams. It feels pretty well built. It doesn't feel like it will break anytime soon when being bent by jerry-rig everything. Now, as far as the screen is concerned, this is actually a pleasant surprise. I'm talking about the fact that it's a 6.78-incher AMOLED panel, Full HD+. The predecessor has a 5.9-incher. The refresh rate isn't 165 Hz like the ROG phone had, it's 144 Hz. It's an AMOLED E6 LTPO, which means it can drop to 1 Hz when it shows static images, like, I don't know, a website for example. It goes up to 2500 nits of brightness, just so you know, and has Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection. The predecessor had a 5.9-inch screen, and also this one has a 94% screen-to-body ratio, which is quite impressive when it comes to narrow bezels. If you want to talk about the innards, the CPU is familiar, typical for a 2024 flagship, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 4nm, accompanied by a hefty amount of RAM, 16 gigs of RAM LPDDR5, and we also have a version with 12. Storage is half a terabyte, UFS 4.0, there's also one with 256. No microSD card slot here, but there is something that is old school, the audio jack here. And notice the atypical placement of the USB-C port here instead of being at the center. And this is one of the two stereo speakers. And this is the nano SIM card slot. Okay, so a fingerprint scanner is here. Feels a bit too high for my taste. I would have liked it to be a bit lower. And as far as the speakers are concerned, I don't see any slit at the top, so it's the earpiece doubling as the secondary speaker. And it's not just that, we're treated once again, for typical for ASUS, with DRAC technology. So let's see. Now if you go here and go here, Audio Wizard is available with DRAC technology, a bunch of scenario effects, 10-channel equalizer, treble and bass. Okay, so now we go further and return to the AIDA app. to discuss the battery. It's a pretty impressive 5500 mAh unit with 65 watt wired charging and 15 watt wireless charging. The predecessor has a much smaller battery, but the screen size has also increased. When it comes to connectivity, this device will provide you with 5G, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4. There's also GPS, NFC, Galileo, GNSS, GLONASS, Beidou, and QZSS, and Galileo. Now, as far as the punch hole for the selfie camera is concerned, it hosts a 32 megapixel shooter with the RGBW sensor. It combines 4 pixels in one for 8 megapixel shots. At the back side, we have pretty much the same camera setup as the ASUS ROG Phone 8 Pro, with a main 50 megapixel sensor with 6-axis gimbal hybrid stabilization 3.0. Say that fast. f1.9 aperture here, and the sensor measures 1/1.56 inches. This is the LED flash, and then the other two cameras are a 13 megapixel ultra-wide shooter, which has a freeform lens, and a 32 megapixel telephoto camera with optical image stabilization and 3x optical zoom, the kind of which you'd probably find on a, well, lesser Galaxy S and the iPhone 15 Pro. Okay, so there's also pixel binding, combining 4 pixels in one for the telephoto camera, and these are the main camera options: Pro, Night, and Pro Video. Light Trail, which gets a brand new fireworks mode. There's the panorama, of course. Portrait, we can set up beautification options or keep them off. This is the photo section with extras like HDR. And this is the video section. We can shoot up to 8K, 24 frames. There's also two modes of stabilization here. There's the adaptive and there's the hyper steady. Then we have portrait video, which is brand new and supposed to be a fresh feature on the handset. You can also set stabilization here. It's basically bokeh video. Time-lapse as well, and slow motion is part of the package. Okay, so the portrait video actually employs two things. It can shoot in 4K and can actually use AI technology to make the video look cooler. Speaking of AI, we can also discuss the software here. So it's Android 14 with Zen UI on top, but you can highly customize it. So first of all, you can go to wallpaper and styles. You can change wallpaper, and you have AI wallpaper. You can actually generate it from a bunch of, words, keywords. But it's just scratching the surface. Okay, so this is what the AI generated for me. You can also regenerate it, and you have to download a 3 GB package to actually handle it. There's also call translator and also AI noise cancelling plus AI transcript. AI transcript works like this, so you should go here in the dedicated app. So here we are going to record some voice, and the voice will be transcripted, and also there will be a summary at the end of it. Very nice. This is the ASUS Zenfone 11 Ultra, the first Ultra that ASUS has put out. So a feature similar to what Samsung is offering with the whole Galaxy AI. So, okay, transcript should be available. This is the transcript, and you can also generate a summary for it. Pretty cool. Okay, now aside from that and the AI wallpaper, we also have something like semantic search in the gallery, so improved search of objects and people. So I'm curious, if I'm looking for a bike, let's see here. I actually photographed a bike and I'm curious about it. Bike. Here it is. It's actually a trike, but I'll let it slide. Okay, and also phone link, which lets you connect to a PC, plus a few other features like those found in the advanced area. Now, you also have this here. There's the smart key. We no longer have the swipe on it, but we have double tap and long press with features associated. Mobile manager to manage the resources, memory cleaner, cleanup, and so much more. And Game Genie, which you know from the ROG phones. You can show macro tracks, temperature, do some game recording. Then the twin apps, opening two instances of an app at the same time. And the Edge tool, which is a menu which you can swipe from the side. And when you're using YouTube, actually, the side menu transforms with extra options. This here. No calls, no alerts, mini notification, and even background listening, which kind of overlaps YouTube Premium, just like Xiaomi did, and may cause some problems for ASUS. And then go here, and also, let's see where it was. Advanced again. There's also OptiFlex, which accelerates app launches and reduces app reloads, and the clipboard toolbar. plus gestures, one hand mode, and even back tap. You can double tap or triple tap to activate, well, things like the camera and more features. So this is the ASUS Zenfone 11 Ultra, the latest ASUS flagship, inspired by the ROG Phone 8 Pro, but not quite, with an extra. It has the gimbal, it has the AI, I'll be sure to test it and be back. It's a slippery phone, so use the case. It's a pretty tough phone, it won't break that easily, and there's quite a bit of promise related to those gaming features, even though it's not exactly a gaming phone. And the price is quite okay for a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 handset. Goodbye.